the way round now onto the grid. So red flag at the back and just waiting for that green flag to appear at the back. Here we go, there it is, right on cue. So this will be a 10-lap race, Keith, for the Seat and Tune-in Powerbikes, Clubman 1000s and Retros, but we do have the green flag at the back. Red lights are on, out go the lights, and off we go then towards Old Hall Corner. Good start from the middle of row number 1 for Grant Thompson, but Harrison Crosby is coming on strong in towards that first turn up the inside. Harrison Crosby, he is the man who takes the running in as they leave Old Hall Corner down the avenue. Plenty of fresh air underneath the front wheel of Grant Thompson as he gets the power down through that rear tyre, but it's Harrison Crosby, the race winner from the first encounter yesterday, who leads this the way.
Yeah, he certainly does, and this is going to be a cracking pace. Somebody's going a little bit slower there. Got passed by somebody relatively easily. Maybe it was just a quick misgear or something like that. Hopefully nothing too worrying for anybody at all. Going to be interesting to see how Ted Wilkinson gets in on this race, because yesterday in this race, in the afternoon at least, we saw it basically being a test session and just doing a few laps here and there and tweaking the bike and things like that. Let's see if the tweaks have worked for him, because he certainly showed an amazing pace on that bike yesterday, didn't he? Bear in mind, it's an Aprilia 660 he's riding, isn't he?
Certainly is.
And he's up against some 200 horsepower monsters out there,
so
and Ted does an incredible job.
Less than half of the power.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, here we go then into Hizzies for the first time. Again, watching some braking manoeuvres going out there. It is the 37 machine that leads now, so Harrison, that was Crosby dropping back to about third, I think. Now it was him going backwards. I don't know if there was a bit of a glitch there, but it is the machine of Brad Mercer, the Bolton man, who leads the way. Quite a few guys, if you look in your programs, you'll be seeing some familiar names like Nathan Harrison, Joe Yeardsley from the Isle of Man. Unfortunately, they've had to leave us early simply because they had to catch a ferry, because it was thought that the ferries today would be cancelled due to the conditions that are coming across. Storm Dave is going to wreak his havoc. So the Isle of Man guys, a lot of the Isle of Man guys have gone home early. I know just George Halliday listed as being from the Isle of Man, and he is still with us, which is good to see. As they come down the hill. What was the order across the line there, mate?
So across the line we've got Mercer leading the way by 0.8 of a second over Grant Thompson. Harrison Crosby next up, 4th position, first of the Clubmans for Tommy Jones, ahead of the number 42 bike of Jonathan Perry. So Jonathan Perry rounding out the top 5, showing is making up 11 positions. Brendan Mallender is making up 4 positions. He's in 6th on bike number 6. Scott Halliday makes up 10 positions. Ted Wilkinson makes up 5. Ryan Bull is in 9th position. Mark Betts rounds out the top 10 at the moment, with Alan Morgan dropping 5 positions. Number 91 of Jack Fowler makes up 10 positions. Looks like we've got Jones, Williams, Wren, Wood, Halliday, that's George Halliday that is, Morris, Ingham, Underhill, and then Paul Fagg.
Challenge for the lead here, side by side down into Hizzies, and I think that was Crosby who has decided he's sick of being in third. And I think we've lost somebody as well. There's a lot of chatter on the radio there, Brad. I don't know if you can hear anything in the background there, but I'm not sure if you've got something on your camera as well. But I think we've lost somebody somewhere, because Mercer certainly lost 2nd place, but I'm not quite sure. I think we're missing somebody from the top 3 or 4 there, mate. Seeing if somebody doesn't trip the timing beam is going to be your first clue, obviously.
It looks like everybody in the top 8
okay,
through. A few changes of position. I can see Ryan Bull has just been overcome now by Mark Betts. That's a change for 2nd position in the Clubmans. But here we go then, already out of Deers Leap and across the line. Harrison Crosby leads the way from Brad Mercer. Next up it is Perry, number 42, Jonathan Perry, ahead of Grant Thompson, Brendan Mallender. Tommy Jones drops a couple of positions. Scott Halliday, number 88. Then it's Ted Wilkinson, Ryan Bull. I'm keeping an eye out for the bright orange Honda 5 of Ryan Bull, and there he is. He's lost a lot of time on this lap, Keith, I think. As there goes Mark Betts. A few changes of position further down the order.
Who's lost all the time, mate?
It was Ryan Bull. He's dropped 2.2.
What number is Ryan?
16.
Okay, so I'm hearing a bit of chatter at the 241 machine. Who's that?
241. I haven't got a 241.
That's what I thought. I couldn't see one of my sheets, because I'm asking, because my sheets are obviously not as up to date as your screen, so that's what I'm a little bit confused, but then it doesn't take very much at all. Okay, well, the incident seems to be not too much of a problem, because everybody's still racing around quite happily as they disappear out of my sight. Well, they come back into my sight, actually.
And lap times, Keith, at the end of that one, 1 minute 41s.
Okay, now that's Brad Mercer, who's taken over the front running once again. Looks like we lost Harrison Crosby, I think.
Harrison Crosby was the man leading as he came past me.
Yeah, no, Jonathan Perry's now in second place, mate, so we've lost Crosby somewhere by the look of it. I don't think I saw him come past. It was a bit of a blur of bikes while I checked paperwork.
Nothing on the sector time for Harrison Crosby either, so
yeah.
Right, he hasn't tripped the timing beam up there at Slay Hill.
Somebody going straight on here. They're going to lose quite a bit of time. That's the 63 machine rejoining the race. Lloyd Joy's a little bit safer than George Cowie did. Basically doesn't aim straight for the apex, which is exactly what you want to do if you're coming back onto the track. So somebody else is going to be losing quite a bit of time there. How's Mr. Wilkinson getting on that Aprilia?
He is just coming across the line now on Aprilia RS660. I tell you, he just carries so much corner speed into Old Hall Corner, it's ridiculous. So he is up into 7th position overall, 6th in class, because in front of him by 2.6 seconds is the first of the Clubmans, that's Tommy Jones.
What sort of lap times is he doing?
That is a very good question. He is doing a 1 minute 45.
Okay, so the lap record in the Super Twins, Fenton Seabright's a 44.3, just to give us a bit of a marker as to how we're going.
Harrison Crosby's just come past me.
Okay, fair enough.
Harrison Crosby is
still running?
Yeah, across the line with a 2 minute 22.
Yeah, that's not what you can call a competitive lap time in pretty much any class at all, so that's a great shame. So hopefully it's just a little bit of a moment somewhere, and I didn't see him come past, but I'm guessing he was in amongst one of the big bunches that came past. Certainly it's good news for Brad Mercer, who now leads quite happily. There's Jonathan Perry starting to have a bit of a lonely race there. Next through, it is the number 6 machine. There's the 241, and that was 241. Who's in 4th place?
Grant Thompson is number 244.
444, that's where it's getting confused. Yeah, I can see that's why they've called 244. It's 241. That's what the problem is.
Okay, so I'll try and keep an eye on the leaders. It's good to see that Brendan Mallender, as you said there, Keith, you reckon he'll be flying, and indeed he is, because he was up to 3rd as he came across the line last time around. So Brendan Mallender from 10th on the grid, he is up to 3rd position. So Mercer, Perry and Mallender across the line. There is number 244 of Grant Thompson heading in towards Old Hall Corner. Now that's the top 4. There's Scott Halliday, in fact, in front of Tommy Jones.
Okay, they're a little bit concerned there might be a little bit of a mechanical issue with the 244 machine. That's what the chatter is about. Just wondering if something's dragging on the ground or something like that, I think. So don't be surprised. Maybe the meatball flag comes out or something like that. We'll wait until they get confirmation of that. Because obviously if things aren't 100%, we like to make sure people don't continue, because it can end up in a bit of a messy heat at some point.
Okay, good battle coming past me now. Matt Wren, George Halliday. Just coming past me now. I've got Jack Fowler in the mix there as well. Then it's Clinton Wood, Harrison Crosby. So Harrison Crosby's in the 1 minute 43s. The guys in front are in the 49s, 48 brackets. So I'd imagine, well, he's made up 7 positions on that lap. That's Harrison Crosby. I'm sure he's looking to do the same on this 5th lap. So
now, George Halliday listing as being on a Gixxer 750.
Yes.
Would that be a super sport machine for the Isle of Man, do you think?
Yeah, I believe this would be track time on the next gen super sport.
Yeah.
I believe.
No, so I'm gonna. That's kind of what I was guessing as well. Just getting your youthful confirmation on that one, mate.
Youthful confirmation.
Well, sorry, formerly youthful, actually. I don't think you can be called youthful anymore, really. You can next to me, but there we go.
Yeah, but who can't? Jonathan Perry's gone purple in sector number 1, 4/10 of a second quicker than Brad Mercer. In fact, Brad Mercer's coming towards me now to complete lap number 5, and that is half race distance complete. So Jonathan Perry, number 42, is across the line, 41.3, personal best lap of the race. There's Brendan Mallender, Grant Thompson up next in 4th. Scott Halliday seems to be closing here. Scott Halliday, goes per 1.1 seconds quicker than Grant Thompson. So wow. They're coming down the avenue now, tipping in towards Denton's, and you'll see the light blue bike of Scott Halliday. He has got Grant Thompson right in his iron sights. Yeah, no, he's having a good year so far, Scott Halliday, the personal trainer from down in Kent there. And you're right, he is definitely gaining very rapidly indeed. Matt Wren's decided he really doesn't like the track here at Hissies, because he's come through the straight on bit once again, so not gaining or losing anything by doing that at all, but just a slight frustration there. Here's one for you, Keith. Fastest lap of the race Harrison Crosby, 1 minute 40.774. He's 0.6 of a second quicker than anybody else on the circuit, and he did that while making up 5 positions.
Wow. So he's putting a few bikes between himself and that sort of pace. Right, here comes that battle. Sorry, I'm looking at Halliday. I think he's going to go for an outbreak. No, he can't quite get close enough. But I tell you what, he's closed that gap to within about 3 bike lengths now. So, yep, Halliday is definitely the man on the move there. And he is using all the track. He's definitely getting his money's worth out of this place as he goes charging up the hill. So, yeah, you're right, Brad, good spot there. I think Scott's definitely on it.
Here's one for you. Harrison Crosby just coming over the crest at Hilltop now, heading towards you. When he comes out of Knickerbrook, just look how hard he gets on the throttle. It's something that I noticed yesterday. He just picks it up and just relies on the grip that rear tyre has to offer.
Yeah, that's somebody who's trying very hard.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely. He's got that cranked over too while he's punching that power in. I'm guessing he's got the full electronics package working there, because otherwise that's extremely brave, that's for sure. He's working that very hard indeed.
Purple in sector number 1 again is Harrison Crosby.
Are we going to see a sub 1 minute 40 second lap, I wonder?
I think we could do, because the leading 2 are in the 1 minute 14s in the first sector. Harrison Crosby's in the 1 minute 11s. So he's across the line now, and it's a 1 minute 39.172.
Wow.
So, yeah, almost a sub 139 there for Harrison Crosby. Purple in both sectors, as you'd expect when you go in 2 seconds a lap quicker than anybody else. He's already on his way down the avenue in towards Denton's. George Halliday going up the inside of Mark Betts, I think that was. It was Mark Betts that George Halliday has just gone up the inside of. That is for 9th and 10th position. A few changes of position, actually, here for Stephen Jones, Clinton Wood, Martin Morris, and Jack Fowler. That is 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th position. Across the line as well, Keith, Grant Thompson really coming under pressure now from Scott Halliday. The gap is down to less than 0.2 of a second.
The other one I'm going to ask you after the race, actually, I want to check the lap times from yesterday. Oh, sorry, big squirrely moment there for... No, that is the 1-2-2 machines this time. So that is Ted Wilkinson having a little squeaky moment. He really anchored a bit too late, but flew through the chicane here. I want to talk about the Clubman 1000 lap times here as I watch Harrison Crosby powers up that hill so fast. So you're right, it's absolutely phenomenal to watch him come through here. It really is. He might be a long way back, but he's got an empty track all to himself. That's all good fun anyway. At the end of the day, he's not competing in our championship. Oh, somebody else just misses the grass there. Matt ran again. Oh, Matt, he's not having a good time here at Knickerbrook. He really is struggling with this part of the track.
Ted Wilkinson in towards Old Hall Corner now. We do have 3 laps to go. Harrison Crosby is across the line, 1 minute 38.8.
38.8. Well, I don't know. We've got a lap record here from Josh Owens of a 36.779, so we're a fair chunk away from that. That was set here last year on the Saturday, but don't believe the bit where it says 5.5.25. That's just a typo. So that was a phenomenal lap. There's a 100-mile-an-hour lap, which is an average speed around Alton Park. It's an incredible sort of a time. And you wonder how far Harrison Crosby's going to go. And these are far from ideal conditions, are they, Bradley?
Yeah, it's not as good as what they were last year, actually, because last year wasn't too bad because we did the presentation outside, didn't we?
That's right, yep. That's always the clue, isn't it, as to what the conditions are like if we do the presentation outside. Here comes Scott Halliday, still pushing very hard indeed to find his way past that 244 of Grant Thompson in front of him, the Port Mary rider. So I think Scott probably knows that. I don't think that Grant is eligible for our points. Again, is he just picking up signatures for the TT, do we think, or do we know?
That's a very good question.
No, I'm not sure. So it'd be nice to have an asterisk next to these riders. Should have a word in the office really before the race and just to confirm who can and can't score points. Because we're more than welcome guest riders, but unfortunately they're not eligible to score points in our championship. Clinton Wood, your cover boy, just coming past me now. Where's Clinton running in class? He's in the retros. Is he leading the retros once again?
He is, yep. Clinton Wood leading the way in the retros. He was right there with Stephen Jones, I think, there wasn't he? Martin Morris isn't too far behind him either as they came across the line last time around.
What's happening in the Clubman class, mate?
Clubman,
Tommy Jones?
Tommy Jones is leading the way, yes. Interestingly enough as well, he said, Jake Hopper isn't in this one, is he?
Yeah.
So, he will be leading the way in the Clubman's. Tommy Jones, his fastest lap is a 1 minute 44.5. I think Clubman lap record Dan Johnson from 7 years ago.
Yep.
So Mark Betts will be with us very shortly. He's second of the Clubman's. In fact, there he is, right on cue. The man who was in the Rookie 600s last year, making the switch to the R1 for the Clubman Thousands this season. Scott Halliday already well on his way. That was Clinton Wood just coming past me now, leading the way in the retros. So leading already in towards the second sector. When they come around to cross the line this time around, Keith, it will be the start of the last lap. I can hear Brendan Mahander's Honda just firing its way up the hill in front of you.
Halliday pushing on so hard, he just cannot find a way past. He really is going hard as he can. That Wilkinson there making the racket as well. Some good bikes, right? Is that the checkered flag going out there, mate?
Last lap flag.
The last lap flag, sorry, yep.
6.5 seconds is the advantage for Brad Mercer over Jonathan Perry. So Brad Mercer, Jonathan Perry, 6.5 seconds. Fastest lap for Mercer is a 41.2. Fastest lap for Perry is a 41.3. Brendan Malander is there in third place. But again, that battle onto the last lap now between Grant Thompson and Scott Halliday. Scott Halliday not quite close enough to challenge into Old Hall Corner, as Harrison Crosby, he was at the back of the field at the end of lap number 1, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He's found his way up into 6th position overall. He's in the 1 minute 40s now, so he's still about a second quicker than anybody else on the circuit, but he will take pole position. These guys have got a race later on, have they? Or is this their one race?
I think this is the one race for today, if I remember right, because they did the 2 yesterday, didn't they?
That's it.
That's why this one's over 10 today.
Paul Fagg across the line, albeit a lap down, but he's just gone the sub 2 minute as well. So a personal best lap of the race for Paul Fagg, a 1 minute 59.806. So good stuff for the man on the AAA Yamaha as George Halliday comes across the line now to round out the top 9.
Right, I saw Malander trying desperately to get on a toe as he came out of Cascades there. I don't think he's quite got the herbs of the man in front. He's certainly got the corner speed though, because that's where he closed up. Here they come then down into his chicane, into the right-hander, left-hander. Yeah, I don't think, unfortunately.
Sorry, Keith, I think that's a rider off up at Druids, unfortunately.
Okay, that's good. Could be one of red flags. Red flags didn't throw, mate. So the results will stand as you see them on the screen there, mate, as Mr. Wilkinson rolls slowly down here. Wait and see where they get held up. I think they're going to try and hold them at the chicane here, actually, mate. So there we go, the red flags are flown. So I was asking about the Clubman lap times from yesterday, mate. What times did we get down to?
Right, in the Clubman, I'm not sure about Jake Hopper in all honesty.
Well, that's the question, mate. Yeah. That's why I asked the question, because I need to check the eligibility of Mr. Hopper, and this is not taking anything away from Jake,